The world of FPV drones, where the sky is the limit and the only rule is to defy gravity with some style. But before you invest into a real FPV drone and risk crashing it into the nearest tree, there's a smarter way to scratch that itch: setting up a simulator to practice FPV. Here's why you should dive into the virtual skies. First is safe learning environment. The simulator provides a risk-free environment to own your skills. No need to worry about crashing expensive drones. Crash as much as you want in the virtual world. Two is it's cost effective. Let's face it, FPV drones don't come cheap. By mastering your skills in the simulator first, you can avoid costly mistakes and crashes that could damage your real-life equipment. Third is convenience. No need to wait for the perfect weather conditions or beautiful lightings or whatsoever. With a simulator, you can practice anytime, anywhere, rain or sunshine. Fourth is instant feedback. The simulator provides instant feedback on your flying technique, allowing you to identify correct mistakes on your flying skills. Fifth is experimentation. Want to try out new tricks without risking your drone? The simulator is the perfect playground for experimenting with different flying styles, techniques, and landscapes. So whether you're a seasoned pilot looking to sharpen your skills or a beginner eager to take your first steps into the world of FPV flying, setting up a simulator is the perfect way to elevate your flying game without leaving the safety of a solid ground. Step 1 is get a remote. Now here you will find yourself at the fork of the road, where one way is to get a cheap option which will cost you about 5,500 Indian rupees or about 80 USD, and you might have to ultimately break up with it once you go out in the real world. Or you can choose a solid long-term partner like a Radio Master TX10, 12 or 16, or even a TBS Tango 2 Pro that I personally use. Then comes step 2. You have to go on your browser and download Steam application. Once that is done, it's time for step 3, where you'll need to buy an FPV simulator. I'll list down a couple of names here on the screen so you can screenshot and choose among them from the marketplace. And once you have purchased one of these, it's time to move on to the step 4, which is connecting your remote to the PC or a laptop to calibrate it in the simulator for your best experience and control settings. The remote that I'm using is TBS Tango 2 Pro. This has a Type-C port, so I'm gonna just plug in a Type-C cable and then plug it into my laptop. We're gonna turn our remote on once we're connected with the PC. So once we're connected with the PC, we're gonna turn on our remote. It'll show some warnings. It'll show me options of how do I want to use the remote. It says joysticks, agent, charging, and storage. I'm gonna go with joystick since I'm gonna use it in the simulator to practice. Then if you are as soon as you connect, it should show up here on the hardware tab, which it hasn't, but soon it should show. I'll allow. No, it shows here the remote that I've connected. I'll go on the remote and we hit on this quick calibrate. It's gonna ask me to centralize the stakes. You just gotta follow the instruction on the screen so that it just registers the channels accordingly. Perfect. We gotta hit save and go back. We'll go to the fly menu where it's gonna show me solo race. I can race, check my timings if you're already a drone pilot. But if you are someone who's totally new, you should ideally go back to the training mode where it's gonna introduce you to all the terminology that we use in the drone flights. Then you go learn to fly. It's basically gonna familiarize you with all the environment, the sticks and the movements of the drone. We'll start. Wow, look at the lighting. Okay, it says climb. I'm gonna throttle up. It's also, when you're training, it also shows you correspondent stick that you need to use to do the task. So it says hover and it shows me go up and down with the left stick, which is throttle up and down. Hovering basically means staying in the air at one position, trying to hold like a position, which is called hovering. Once I'm done with that, it shows next. And you can just keep on doing whatever it says on the screen. It says pitch forward. I'm going to use the right stick as it shows me here. I'm going to move the pitch stick forward to move forward with a little bit of throttle, which is automated in this case. And then I'm going to hit the balloon. And that's how you do one task, and keep on repeating whatever it shows on the screen. And once you're done familiarizing with all the terms that are used in a drone flight, you can go back to the main menu and choose to practice freestyle, which will land you up in an open space environment of the map that you choose to practice in. There are multiples, so I'm gonna hit freestyle. I'm gonna go with original maps. It shows mega city, then US Air Force Boneyard, Camp Yard, Out of Service, Gates of New York, and a lot others. I think I really like the campground, which because it has a sunset environment. So I'm just gonna go with this, go with freestyle and start. It's gonna load up the map, and I'm gonna practice a bit of multiple new movements. Let's say I'm going on a shoot tomorrow, so I'm just gonna load up the simulator, practice a few moves without crashing drone, without the risk of crashing the drone. And when I go out in the real world, I'll be able to have that muscle memory of doing that movement, so it increases the chances of success. It's a bit jerky, I don't know why. Maybe it's the mode that is chosen. This beginner mode. I gotta choose the pro mode. Make sure to choose the pro mode when you're practicing, to make sure you are allowed the full movement, flips and all. Wow, this is kind of tricky. Then you press R to, even if you crash, you just press R on your keyboard to reset. Wow, this is flying quite fast, quite sensitive. Once you're able to operate the drone as per your liking and imagination, you can invite more of your friends to practice or race together for some fun. And after crossing a recommended practice hours, which is roughly about 40 to 50 hours in the simulator, you'll be ready to go out in the real world. I've already made a video on where you can buy your ready to fly quads or parts you can build your first FPV drone with. You can check that video out from the link in the description, and until then, keep flying.